Hello, everyone. My name is Gus.
Hi, I'm Woody.
We haven't disappointed our audience heavily
How come you don't ever?
in a long time.
I recognize when you get new stuff on your body. What about me?
This video that we're reacting
Not
today,
even giving me a thought on that.
this video we're reacting today does not include the word death on the title. So our audience already are disappointed.
So low volume,
Low
views.
low views, but once in a while we got to react to something where no one dies, I think. Well, we don't know if someone dies. It's just not on the title. And I feel like if someone died, they would put it on the title because it's clickbait. They want people to click. I mean, videos we react to where no one dies put death on the title just so we click.
It's just unbelievable.
It's just the way it works.
I mean,
So
if you are going to create a YouTube channel, anybody out there, don't even bother with another topic other than death. Why not? It's proven. Just
Pro tip.
Pro tip, death. You will be a very big channel.
So this video is titled Submarine Cameras Capture Something No One Was Meant to See. So
Possible. That doesn't seem weird.
without hitting play, I know that about 98 to 99% of this will be complete BS.
I don't think so. That's where one thing that, I mean, seriously.
Can you think of anything that you could say this wasn't meant for people to see?
Yes. It's in Roswell. We know that they already found aliens and secret spaceships there. Trump probably knows.
No.
The first thing that happens probably on a president debriefing is, we're going to tell you finally, like you open the book of I just became president. We're in the room.
Open a book.
Sit down.
You think this is like President for
Sit
Dummies?
down.
They
We're
just
gonna,
give them a book?
Yeah, it's like,
Wow.
these are the nuclear codes, and you cannot talk about this, but we've already had these encounters. We got one or two in the glass bottle, preserved in Roswell, and they're like, no way. I'm like,
All right.
yeah, how do you think
Let
the
me
pyramids
try to pull it back.
How do you think the pyramids got here? Seriously, how do you
They
think?
were built
No,
by people.
come on. That you have to give me. They can't. You think they lift those stones? You think they had a bunch of my people out there just getting whipped? Were able to? They weighed like 78 pounds, eating nothing, and they lifted that stuff up.
Yes. The point is, let me reel it back. I don't even know what the video is about anymore. But I do have a sincere question, not just for you,
All right.
but for the audience, because I actually want to learn this time around. For the audience, if you're the president of the United States or any country where you're watching this from, prime minister, president, dictator, whatever, I don't know what country you're watching this from, you can basically do anything you want in terms of on vacation. Like you can go to Hawaii, you can go golfing, you can do whatever. Could you go cave diving if you're the president?
I would say yes. In Mexico, they have. The first time I ever went cave diving, they take you and you do go into the cave. You go into the no light zone, but it's a circle and it's a rope. It's not a line. It's literally a rope. It's in maybe Tulum. I don't remember where. It's outside of. It's outside of Cancun. You drive like an hour and a half or 2 hours through the gang areas and jungle, and you go there, and they literally take you into a cave. So the answer is yes.
But the question is, okay, so let's say I am the president and I'm a cave diver. Can I just be like, okay, for my vacation, I get 2 weeks of vacation a year or 3 weeks, whatever it is, I want to go cave diving. I want to go cave, maybe not in Mexico, but what about Florida?
Yes.
Could I go cave diving as a president?
Yes.
Some people have said no, you can't.
But
Can't
they
do
will.
it.
Nobody's who's gonna. I mean,
They say that apparently they won't let you because it's too dangerous.
I think it's too dangerous.
So
but
comment below if you know. Comment below, and if you don't know, speculate like us. The point is, how far? If let's just assume for a second that cave diving is too dangerous and they won't let you. The Secret Service is like, no go, no cave diving. How far does that go? Like, what other activities are included? Could you go skydiving?
Well, I saw an interview with Obama on YouTube, and they said, when you are president, could you just hop in the car? You go out of the White House,
Yeah.
I want to drive to the I'm hungry. I'm going to drive to the Waffle House and have breakfast. Secret Service can follow me, but I'm driving. I enjoy driving.
You're done.
I have a Tesla. He
You're
said
done.
they will not let you drive. Cannot drive yourself.
Yeah.
So if they can't drive, then there's probably many other restrictions as well.
Yeah, but I think that driving is because if you get ambushed by a group of terrorists or whatever, you get ambushed, you're not gonna know how to like evade. You know, like these drivers from the Secret Service, that's all they do. It's drive aggressively and defensively and get away from stuff. You know, the question is, like, if I, like, there's presidents in the past that have been in the military. Let's say they were airborne division. They were skydivers. This is what they did in the army. Could they just go and be like, on vacation, I want to go skydiving? Would the Secret Service allow that? You think?
I doubt it.
What about climbing?
I doubt it.
Like, how far is this list? I want a list of here are all the things a president cannot do, no matter what. And these are all leisure stuff. Like, I'm on vacation, and I just want to go skydiving for fun. Why not?
Yeah. I think the president is under severe restrictions. Kim Jong-un, North Korea.
You don't think that guy can go cave diving if he wants to?
Yeah.
They will build a cave for him just so he can go cave.
Absolutely brand new cave that never existed.
And then they'll say he's the
tunnel
best
into
cave
the
diver
earth.
in the world and invent the cave diving.
And doesn't need a line and can find his way out or air.
It has mapped millions of miles of
need
underwater
air?
passage down to 1,000 meters.
The great leader doesn't need air. Why you need air?
And all these people,
You better cry when you clap. It's so enthusiastic. You didn't cry. You will not be found tomorrow.
But here's the question, and I want you to comment below.
Well, no one's.
Here's the format.
No one's going to last
No.
to watch the video. You know that. We're already way beyond that.
Here's the format that I want to comment below. If, insert the name of your president, prime minister, dictator here, wants to go cave diving, and then right below it, they can go cave diving or they cannot. So
well, you were from Venezuela. I mean,
Yeah.
do you think that guy, if he wanted to, when he was in charge of the entire regime, could have gone cave diving? If
I
he
wish
said-
he did, because that idiot didn't even know how to swim, I assume. So I wish he said, I want to go cave diving, so he dies immediately. That's what I wanted.
Remember, dictators. I'm not here. I'm not insulting any of you dictators. Only the one guy. I like dictators.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
just
of
a happy
Maduro.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, but the point is, if you think your president could go cave diving if they wanted, comment below. I'm interested. I want to see how many people think, if my guy or woman, like the president of Mexico, I think is a woman right now, depending on when you're watching this. If that woman was a cave diver, there's a lot of cave divers in Mexico. Could she just go to a cenote and go cave diving? I hope the answer is yes. I mean, that's cool. I mean, imagine if I was the president. I would be like, I want to go to Devil's Hole in Nevada. Like, all these caves that are closed up. I'd be like, I want to go in all of those caves.
For me, what's cooler than doing any of those things if I was the president? Imagine if I was the president, and I'm like Gus.
I can't.
I'm the president of the United States. Air Force One is on its way. You could sleep in the bedroom, take a nap on the way to the White House.
Of course.
Where I'm going to have a totally catered dinner for you. That would be amazing. Imagine you're like, well, just come on over. I'm hanging out today. I have a day off. I'm taking a break from the wars.
Yeah.
Come over. Let's hang in the White House.
Yeah.
And we could play in the bowling alley or whatever.
I negotiate peace till 5 p.m. and then I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I got to get back to Iran in a little while, but right now it's fine. I'm not going to bomb them.
That's
for about
amazing.
10 minutes.
Okay, what's this video about again? We're supposed to react to a video. So apparently submarines capture some stuff.
Okay.
Let's go check it out.
The ocean covers most of our planet, yet
True.
it remains one of the least understood places on Earth. Beneath the waves lies a vast world of deep trenches, towering underwater cliffs, and ecosystems that exist in almost complete darkness. For centuries, humans have tried to explore this hidden realm using submarines, diving equipment, and advanced underwater cameras.
Yeah.
Most of the time, those cameras capture breathtaking moments. Massive schools of fish moving like living clouds,
Look at that
coral reefs glowing with color, creatures that seem almost alien,
not
drifting through the deep.
Nope.
But every now and then, the cameras
What is
capture
this?
something very different. Moments when an ordinary mission suddenly turns into a situation no one expected. A routine dive becomes a desperate struggle. a peaceful research expedition reveals the unpredictable side of the ocean. These moments remind us of a simple truth. When humans enter the deep sea, we are stepping into an environment that does not easily forgive mistakes. The ocean is powerful, mysterious, and often unpredictable. Even experienced divers and highly trained crews can find themselves facing situations that unfold faster than anyone imagined. And when cameras happen to be recording during those moments, they capture scenes that later leave investigators and viewers asking the same question.
I can't pause this one. The reason I'm laughing, I wanted to pause it, you can tell it's AI again, and right, because they just throw in video clips, because right when he said the ocean is unforgiving and one of the most hostile environments in the world, you see the guy over there snapping pictures of his buddy and waving. It's not fitting. He's like, yeah, it's really rough. Hold on, Paul.
Besides us and like Akim, are there any non-AI channels that are scuba related?
It's hard.
And Jonathan Bird, that's it. Those are the only three, I think.
It's really rough. They just shove stuff on YouTube.
What is going on?
Yeah.
I do have a question. This is important. Because I think people think I have a PhD in like insects and fish. I don't. But the guy said something, a comment. I just didn't want to pause it super fast. He made a comment at the beginning saying, the world is mostly covered in water, which is true. It's like
78% or something.
Yeah, like 75%. Let's just round it to 75. So 3/4 of the earth are covered in water and rivers and oceans and ponds and things like that. So here's the question. Without looking this up or ChatGPT, Claude, Google, etc. How many, let me ask it this way. What do you think there's more in the world? Fish in the ocean, all kinds of fish, or insects in land?
Insects, it's not even close.
I mean, remember, it's 75% of the world is covered in water.
I've looked before.
Super deep water.
That's how many insects there are. And we don't, you would think, no way, there can't be that
Comment
many.
below, without looking up, what do you think? Are there more fish in all the world's oceans or more insects in the 25% of land that we have?
And it's not even close is what's funny about it. It's really crazy.
Comment below. And we'll talk about the answer at the end of this video.
Okay.
What exactly happened down there? Today, we are counting down 3 underwater incidents where submarine cameras and diving missions documented events that stunned experts and forever changed how people view deep ocean exploration.
Really?
Some of these stories involve close calls. Others ended in tragedy. All of them show just how fragile human safety becomes when working far below the surface. Before we begin, a quick notice. Some of the events discussed in this video involved serious accidents during underwater operations.
Okay, well, let's
While
see.
the focus is on education
maybe the video will do well.
and understanding what happened, viewer discretion is advised. Now let's begin our countdown.
Started with that.
Starting with number 3, the Cane Bay Wall incident.
Okay.
In the Caribbean Sea, near the island of St. Croix, there is a dive site famous among underwater explorers. It is called Cane Bay Wall.
Okay.
At first, the location seems like a typical tropical dive spot. The shallow reef sits about 40 feet below the surface,
It's St. Croix.
filled with colorful...
Because it is a typical, beautiful dive spot.
It's St. Croix. It's in the Virgin Islands. It's beautiful.
And now I know where he's going to go. But it has a wall that goes very deep.
No.
As if that's
Scary.
rare. Where can you go in great, beautiful, typical, amazing reef diving that doesn't have a wall that
And
goes
it's
very
wet.
deep? Watch out. There's a wall that goes deep with life.
coral formations and marine life that attract divers from around the world.
Of course.
But only a short distance from shore, the landscape suddenly changes. The reef ends abruptly at the edge of an underwater cliff.
Oh.
Beyond that edge, the ocean floor drops dramatically more than 13,000 feet into the deep Atlantic Ocean.
Like most
Divers who visit the site often describe the experience as hovering at the edge of an underwater canyon. One moment they are swimming above bright coral reefs. The next moment they are staring into a vast blue emptiness that fades into darkness.
Yeah.
In
In November of 1996, 3 experienced research divers visited this location to study marine life along the wall. These were not recreational divers. They were trained professionals conducting scientific observations and collecting samples. Their plan was simple: descend along the reef, gather data at depth, and slowly return to the surface.
You know what I'm
People
picturing
sitting
when
on
they're
coral?
talking about we're out there doing serious research and all of that, and I look over to the right and I see you murdering research while we're doing the research, which you know how you and I like to
It's
collect
science.
those samples. You're just unloading a
Science, I
lionfish
mean,
over
in
there.
a way.
Oh, the guy's taking the research serious.
No, what I thought you were gonna say.
That's what's funny.
What I thought you were gonna say when he was talking about research and science is how much research and science we did at Aerolito when
Yeah.
we went with
You were,
Gail and Fernando.
you looked really
We were
pleased.
part of the scientists team
Your face looked really happy to still be there while we're.
when they were
What were we
collecting.
doing? What
I
was,
mean,
our,
but
what
like,
was our job? Do you even remember? What was our assignment?
Did we have a job?
Yes,
We had a job.
we did have a job, but
Oh,
we
what
were
was
useless.
it?
I don't know if we were supposed to point out those little. Everything looks like a shrimp to me, and I only call it a shrimp. It's the only technical
love it
word
when-
I know.
when they
Yeah,
are
we
like-
found another shrimp.
They're like, if you see a species that you think is unique, let us know, bro. They all look the same. What are you talking about?
You mean that white little shrimp or the one that's over there?
They look the same. They're identical. They literally look like Siamese twins. Every one of them.
Everyone.
They're completely identical. But no, okay, so I'm sure we had a job.
We definitely
we-
had a job.
We
didn't
probably
do it.
were carrying stuff. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I did.
I
Providing
do.
providing
It
security.
looked something like this.
Well, the point is,
I saw some of that going on.
it was exciting to be part of a scientist squad and finally feel validated that somebody appreciated how smart we were and included us as part of the scientist team. But once you have 83 samples of Earth, I mean, like, I feel like we were good with 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we need 83 samples of cave ground?
And it was at least an hour and a half of sucking that little stuff up over and over.
Remember?
And me and you were looking like that. There's passage everywhere. Like,
Bro,
we-
what are we doing?
I mean, we're just sitting there.
They would be like, he would put it in the sand and like,
I may or may not have made signs that involved my middle finger only sticking up
grab on.
when they weren't looking. I may or may not have been like, you mother.
I just,
You were
yeah, I
tired.
mean, I much rather be part of the exploration team than the scientist team. And don't get me wrong, like I love science, but like exciting science. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the reason you want to be part of the exploration team and not part of the science team is it has to do with the amount of science that you actually know. And I'm not trying to insult you, but
Well,
you
you're
just
doing
think
it without even
you
trying.
think everything is useless.
No, but like for
What-
real, like
what-
why do
what
we
is
need
the benefit?
80,
But-
80 plus samples of the same Earth?
But
Like, I don't get
I've
it.
asked you this question
You-
before.
why are you not getting-
What benefit?
Mhm.
Because I've asked you this before, and you gave a pretty horrible,
I'm gonna answer.
insulting answer. Is there to find more of those unique shrimp type of species?
Oh, I don't know.
How does the Earth, world, humankind benefit? What do you think? I think it does. It's beneficial. Do you?
Do you think it's beneficial?
See, already you can see what I'm going. Where did you see that answer?
I'm learning this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out where are we evolving to? What's next? Is there medicine that could be derived? If we never did that, you would right now still have polio. You don't think there's any benefit? You've said no to me before, none. It's okay. Go ahead and get annihilated in the comments. Tell them the truth.
I don't
You're
even know how
shallow.
to process.
You're
He-
shallow when
here's-
it comes to science.
Here's what you said. You said finding a new species of critter deep inside a Mexican cave can lead us to understand where we're evolving to and create new medicines.
Very good. You finally listened to
That's
one
what you
thing,
just said.
and you finally listened.
I don't even know. We probably lost a half of our subscribers after
at
that
the beginning.
comment.
At the beginning. You.
Okay, all right. That's the good news. Nobody's watching this, so that's great.
While completing necessary decompression stops along the way. At first, everything went exactly as planned. The divers entered the warm Caribbean water and descended through
Sounds
clear
awesome.
blue currents.
Okay.
As they moved deeper, sunlight began to fade and the vibrant colors of the reef slowly shifted into cooler shades of blue.
It happened. That's
Eventually,
exactly how it
they
works.
reached a working depth of around
Called
220 feet. While they
Absorbed
worked
the
along
light.
the edge of the wall collecting samples, one of the divers noticed movement nearby.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should
fish swam
make a
by.
comment about
Fish swam by, noticed the movement.
absorption, because that's one thing I don't think we've ever talked in the channel. For those of you who are non-divers, when you go underwater, you know, light that comes from the sun, which is white. People say light is yellow, but it's not. It's white light that we get from the sun. It's actually a combination of colors. You know, all the, what's it, Roy G. Biff or whatever, the different colors. Red, orange, yellow, whatever. The
Amazing. Wow.
what? Green, blue.
I'm just saying, you said a pretty technical word. I don't know how
Anyway,
you remember that.
you get these colors coming in, and as you have those colors, they start disappearing the deeper they
In
go.
an order.
Red
of-
goes away.
Red goes away.
Yeah.
and
The last ones are the darker ones, like violet and blue, and like
That's why when you're deep,
Those.
you would need either very powerful lights or a red filter.
Yeah.
Typically, don't need, if the lights are powerful enough, you wouldn't need the red filter.
So-
to bring back, when you put the red filter on, it doesn't make it red. It makes it look like the normal colors.
it's interesting because, you know, like you see my gear specifically, which is all orange, or there's a lot of orange, and then you go like 50 feet deep and it's brown. It just looks like Woody's chair. Like it's super
from,
brown.
And mine goes from pink, typically like starts looking purplish, and then
Yeah, and then
It's
it's like
nothing.
just dark, weird. So yeah, we lose colors, not light. You just keep losing colors in that spectrum, and of course, as you lose the colors, it starts getting darker because the light doesn't penetrate all those rays, all those colors doesn't penetrate as far down as you are on the surface where you can see all the colors
okay, so
of the rainbow.
you definitely are at first grade science. I didn't think you got to even that level, but you did.
Now I understand why we were on that team.
Two large shapes were approaching in the distance. Oceanic white-tip sharks. In
Beautiful.
most situations, sharks remain curious but cautious around divers. Experienced divers are trained to stay calm and maintain awareness when large marine animals appear. The researchers watched the sharks but continued their work. At first, the animals kept their distance. However, something in the water seemed to have changed. Investigators later believed that vibrations from a nearby vessel may have attracted the sharks closer to the area. Engine sounds can travel long distances underwater and
True.
sometimes draw the
All
attention of
sounds,
large
not just engine
predators.
sounds.
Soon,
It's because of the density of the water. There's more density for those sound signals to bounce off of. The problem is they're bouncing all around, so you can't really figure out the direction they're coming from.
That's one thing.
4 times faster. Sound moves underwater.
Yeah,
because
that's the one
density.
thing I think when I learned when I was going through open water class, because every time you do a class, you start with like an online portion of it. Before you even show up to a classroom with an instructor, you do the online portion. And this is one of those things that is covered on it that I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how? Because nothing travels further underwater but sound.
Amazing.
Like light doesn't travel as far. If you shoot a gun, like the bullet doesn't travel as far. Like nothing travels as far as it travels where there's no water, but sound.
Yeah.
Sound travels way further, faster, louder. That's why the loudest animal in the world is underwater. Do you know what that is? What's the loudest animal?
Oh, the loudest? Got to be one of the whales.
Yeah.
A humpback?
Very good. The humpback whale, loudest animal in the world.
Why would you think I'm known on our channel to be extremely knowledgeable in marine life.
I don't think so.
And
the divers began their planned
Other things.
ascent toward the surface. As one diver turned to check on his teammates, he noticed a cloud of disturbed sediment behind them. At first, it looked like equipment stirring up debris near the wall. But as he swam closer, he realized something unexpected had happened.
yeah, school of fish.
One of
came
the
by.
sharks had made contact with his teammate. The injured
Oops.
diver was struggling in the water while the large animals continued circling nearby. The rescuing diver quickly moved in to assist his partner, trying to stabilize him and guide him upward.
That guy looks good.
But the situation
him.
escalated quickly. In the confusion and movement near the edge of the wall, both divers were pulled toward the drop-off. Suddenly, they found themselves drifting downward, along the massive vertical face of the underwater cliff.
Overweighted.
Below them stretched thousands.
There are down currents. I mean, if you go to, when you dive in like Palau, a lot of Southeast Asia, it's really weird, okay?
Yeah.
You start blowing bubbles, and I've been there, and all of a sudden your bubbles are going straight down. There are down currents, and the walls are just not only spectacular, but huge there, and you can be dropping without knowing it. So you got to be careful of a down current.
Yep.
That does exist.
Of feet of open ocean. Working against gravity, currents, and the presence of the sharks, the rescuer managed to guide his injured partner toward a small ledge along the rock face. They reached a narrow shelf where they could briefly stop their descent. But the injuries were extremely serious. The diver realized his partner had been severely hurt during the encounter. Meanwhile, the sharks continued circling nearby. Moments later, they returned once again.
It's a nurse shark, by the
and
way.
the situation became even more difficult.
Super friendly.
Despite the rescuer's efforts, the injured diver was eventually pulled away into the open water beyond the wall. The surviving diver now faced an impossible situation.
He's blowing bubble rings.
He was
looks
already
stressed.
very deep underwater, and his air supply was running low.
Okay.
Remaining there longer would place his own life at risk.
Dude, this looks awesome.
With no other option, he began a rapid ascent toward the surface. Normally, divers must ascend very slowly from such depths to avoid decompression sickness.
By the way, do you know how to make a bubble ring underwater? There's
Not
just
great.
a simple
I'm
trick.
not very good at it.
It's almost like you're spitting, because I forever.
Sometimes I surprise myself. I make a really good one.
Yeah.
I made
So
really good ones, but for the most part, no, they're mediocre.
It's like this. It looks like this. You know how you would like spit a little? You take your tongue and gentle. Too hard, it won't make it. Another way to do it is you can just like separate your hands like that.
Yeah,
really
that I can never
fast.
make work.
So you blow bubbles,
Yeah.
push the bubbles down, and then you just put your hands in
Yeah.
them.
I'm
Most
jealous of
do
people
it
that can
too
do that.
hard, and
I've
it
tried.
breaks apart. Yeah. Oh, anyway, I don't think there's anybody left in the video watching us, so I'm just talking randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, I hope that helped you make bubble rings, because she's still here.
A dangerous condition caused by rapid pressure changes in the body. But in this situation, time was critical. The diver rose quickly through the water column. Just before reaching the surface, the physical stress of the ascent caused him to lose consciousness. Fortunately, his buoyancy device automatically kept him afloat, allowing him to reach the surface where help arrived shortly afterward. He survived the ordeal but required extensive medical treatment for decompression sickness. Despite search efforts, the missing diver was never recovered. The Cane Bay Wall incident remains one of the most dramatic reminders of how unpredictable the deep ocean can be, even for experienced professionals. Now we move to...
I don't want to be ungrateful, but aren't these supposed to be captured by a submarine? Like, where was the submarine in this whole thing?
That's funny.
What is this?
That's really crazy.
I mean, the whole title of the video is "You're not gonna believe what this submarine saw."
Unbelievable.
Where's the submarine?
There's such clickbait.
We just don't talk about the submarine. It's like Fight Club.
It's such clickbait. It's crazy.
Number 2 on our countdown, the saturation diving chamber accident. The North Sea is one of the most challenging environments for underwater work.
I bet.
Powerful
That's true.
storms, icy water, and deep offshore oil platforms create conditions that demand highly specialized
at an
diving
aquarium.
operations. In September of 1975, 2 commercial divers were part of a saturation diving team performing maintenance work nearly 400 feet below the ocean surface. Saturation diving allows divers to remain at extreme depths for extended periods of time. Instead of returning to the surface after each shift, the divers live inside pressurized chambers where their bodies remain adapted to the deep water environment. From these chambers, they travel to their work site using a device called a dive bell, which transports them between the underwater job site and their living habitat. On the day of the incident, the 2 divers completed a routine maintenance task and returned to their underwater habitat. During the transfer process from the dive bell into the chamber, a small leak appeared in the connecting transfer compartment. At first, the issue seemed minor. Instead of immediately shutting down operations for a full repair, the supervisor attempted to
Just mix it
seal
in.
the system remotely using
Throw in
helium gas, which is commonly
I don't know
used
what it
in
is.
deep
Throwing an
diving
astronaut
breathing mixtures.
manipulating.
Unfortunately, during this process, a critical error occurred.
In
The
Russian.
supervisor was monitoring the wrong
Little
pressure
Russian.
gauge. Believing the chamber was losing pressure, he began pumping additional helium into the system. Inside the diver's living chamber, conditions began changing rapidly. The pressure started increasing far beyond safe limits. As the gas compressed inside the confined space, the temperature inside the chamber began rising quickly. Within a
It
short
does.
period of
Those
time,
molecules
the
are moving
environment
so
became
fast.
extremely hot and humid.
Yeah.
The divers attempted to open the hatch leading to the transfer chamber,
Oh,
but the
okay.
pressure difference between the two compartments made it impossible to open the door.
I'm glad they
Lucky
didn't.
because you get sucked through
Outside
that.
the chamber,
and
died
dissolved.
the
immediately.
supervisor still believed he was correcting a pressure loss and continued adding helium.
Aren't they talking
Inside,
to
the
each other?
temperature continued climbing while the divers remained trapped. When the mistake was finally recognized, rescue crews rushed to access the chamber manually. But by the time they reached the divers, the extreme conditions had already taken their toll. Both divers had passed away inside
Nothing
the
they could do.
overheated habitat. The accident shocked the offshore diving industry. For many years, divers had feared the freezing waters and crushing pressures of deep ocean work.
See how this video
But this
has nothing
incident
to do
revealed a
with it.
different and unexpected hazard.
Still
It
waiting
became
for the
first
submarine.
recorded case of saturation divers losing their lives due to extreme overheating during a pressurized operation. The tragedy led to major changes in monitoring procedures and safety systems used in commercial diving today.
And that's why we're
taking the
showing
number one
recreational
position
scuba
on
tanks. I don't. Oh, here it is. Look.
Maybe finally
They
a
saved
submarine
it. The
story.
silent submarine.
No, I'll just add a little bit of clarity because neither one of us are commercial divers or full saturation divers. But the idea behind full saturation is that
All 16 tissue
yeah,
compartments.
there comes a time when you go underwater, your body starts loading up with tiny micro bubbles of whatever gases that you're breathing. Most of the time, because you're diving deep, they're going to be breathing helium, nitrogen, and oxygen, and all those bubbles go into your body. There comes a time where you've spent so much time underwater that your body cannot take any more bubbles. Like it's fully saturated with micro bubbles. It cannot take more. So if you try to go up to the surface, it would take a long time for your body to get rid of all these micro bubbles, and you are able to go to the surface. So what they do is that they keep these divers under pressure 3 weeks at a time, or whatever it is, depending on the operation, I guess. But typically is like 1 week off, 3 weeks on. Like you're working, for 3 weeks. So they bring you down to pressure in a chamber, and your body is fully getting saturated, and you continue to work, live, sleep, eat, whatever at that depth up until it's time for you to come to the surface, which takes them days because they go slowly but surely to the surface doing all those deco stops or whatever they have to do. It's a incredible science, but very dangerous because we don't know a whole lot about it. At least not in 75 when this happened, 51 years ago at this point. It wasn't as sophisticated as it is today with the amount of sensors and all of the stuff that we have today. But it is true. I've been in a chamber. You've been in chambers. I've been just for fun. I didn't need to go in a chamber. It was the Weather Channel out of all.
You think I needed to?
The Weather Channel out of all TV networks was doing a special about chambers, and they invited me to be an extra. And I ended up being on the show and being inside the chamber, and it does get hot in there when they pressurize it. I'm like,
and cold.
and then cold when they are taking the pressure off.
You know what I was thinking the whole time you were talking very intelligently?
Thank you.
Streamed, never taking a break or a breath. What do you think I was thinking that whole time? I was thinking, I wonder if I was watching this video and I looked at me, do you think I have insecurities and want some attention as well? If you look, just look at you and look how you were talking and then look at me. Is that do I need attention? What's wrong with me? Why would you wear this? That's the only thing I heard.
I have no
Mostly.
idea.
Whole time. Yeah, I know. I got this.
You know what's funny though? And before we move on,
is that way off topic?
This is important. People, when I meet people in person, they're always like, "Oh, I really love the character that Woody plays on Dive Talk."
Huh?
What character?
They should come on a road trip with us.
Like, what are you talking
This is
about?
the mild
Before
level.
Dive Talk, I've known you before Dive Talk was even a thing. You were wearing hats. You were wearing like
What?
you've never changed.
But I think if they would go on a road trip with us, they may think that this is the most normal if whatever the word normal means, that I am.
This is you.
I
There's
don't know
no
what else to
characters.
say.
Yeah.
And
like-
but they would get the pleasure of stopping with us and getting the 2 for $5 Burger King sandwiches.
Yeah. The same with me. They're like, I really love that you come off as like a highly trained doctor, scientist type of guy. Like, I love that that's the character you. No, that's just me. That's just, I am. I am who I am.
Right. You're in, especially the science part. I mean, Fernando, who we dove with and you talked about a while ago, luckily was not catching a glimpse of the faces you were making with the patients you did not have while collecting unique species for the world to learn about that you were just absolutely miserable over. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay.
Countdown. The Silent Submarine.
Finally.
In the early days of
Submarines.
April, in the year 2003, fishermen working in the waters of the Yellow Sea noticed something
Yellow Sea?
unusual
Where's the Yellow
drifting
Sea?
between the waves. At first glance,
Wow,
it looked like
beautiful.
a thin metal rod sticking out of the water, something that might have been debris or part of a buoy carried by the current. But as the fishing boat moved closer, the crew realized this
think that's a
object
buoy.
was not random debris at all. It was a periscope, and it was attached to something much larger below the surface.
Yeah,
The
nuclear
fishermen
class
quickly
attack
realized they were
submarine.
looking at the upper section of a submarine partially submerged in the water. Even more concerning, the vessel
Look at
appeared
that
to be
thing.
drifting without any visible movement or control. Submarines rarely appear at the surface unexpectedly, especially in open water without communication. Realizing the situation could be serious, the fishermen contacted authorities and reported what they had found. Soon naval vessels were dispatched to investigate. When the patrol crews arrived, they confirmed the vessel was a Chinese diesel-electric submarine. But something immediately seemed wrong.
Diesel and
The
electric.
submarine showed no signs of
Hybrid.
activity. There were no radio transmissions, no crew members appearing on deck, no...
That's because they were in the dining room chowing, and it is known the best food of any of the military divisions are the submariners. And I watched a lot of those videos. And
Why
I
do you
watched
say
them.
it is known? How do you even know that?
Everybody knows everything from YouTube
I
now.
highly doubt that.
YouTube. And
Highly doubt that.
I'm glad that you are disagreeing
Because
with that
everybody
right now. And
knows-
the reason I'm glad that you're disagreeing with it
Listen.
right now is the number of comments that I'm going to get saying
Leave a comment below.
submariners
I'm gonna bet
are known to
I've
have
never-
the most delicious food.
I've never been in the military. I know people look at me and they're like, "Is this guy a
Or a
Navy SEAL?"
submarine.
No, I'm not. Navy SEAL, Delta Force. I'm not. He didn't even
Anything.
serve in the
Not
military.
anything.
I will guess that the best food in the military, at least in the U.S. military, maybe this is true for other countries as well, is in the Air Force. Somewhere in the Air Force.
Okay.
You're saying submarines have the best food? How is that
No,
possible?
It's unbelievable. They get the best food because they know they're going to be miserable for 3 months, all living in a tube underwater. They keep the spirits up by having great food. How
If
do
you
I know
served
that?
in
It's
the
all over
military-
YouTube.
If you serve in the military and you know about this, leave a comment below. I'm going to guess Air Force has the best food.
The main reason I want to go on a submarine is just to have dinner.
Just to eat?
Just have dinner and breakfast.
Okay.
movement from inside the vessel. It simply floated silently in the water.
That's what they do.
Naval
it's made in
teams
China.
cautiously approached and prepared to board the submarine
work.
to determine what had happened.
Oh,
When investigators finally entered the vessel,
What?
Do
What?
you know how big our Chinese market was?
No, I have no idea.
They have
Massive?
billions. They have billions
Yeah.
of people. We
You
have
think
like
they're watching
hundreds
this
of
in
millions,
China?
and we just lost
All of
billions
them.
of
All three of them.
potential viewers
Dang.
by you making that.
I will say, people joke about stuff made in China is crap. It's not. Like, iPhones are made in China and they're great. It's
course.
all up to the spec of whatever company that is making it in China. If you want to make the most amazing, expensive thing, they'll make it. The Chinese people will make it, right?
I don't even know what's not made there. It's hard to figure out what's not made there. This is probably somehow associated with something in China.
Yeah, this microphone, it probably was made in China. But the point is, not everything made in China is bad. Like, they make amazing stuff. It's the company that hires those Chinese factories are the ones telling them, make it cheaper. And of course, it's going to be crap, but that's not because things made in China are crap.
Luckily, I can still get a visa to visit. You can't.
You still have a chance to comment below if you think there's more fish in the oceans or insects inland. Still comment. We're gonna get to it.
Inside stunned everyone involved.
This is a 4-hour video.
The crew was still at their stations, but none of them were responding.
That's what people in China watch.
Inside the narrow compartments of the submarine, all 71 crew members had passed away.
Oh my!
The scene was strangely calm and quiet.
I'm gonna say CO2.
There were no signs of panic or damage from an external event.
I bet their scrubbers.
Equipment appeared mostly intact, and the vessel itself showed no evidence of collision or attack.
Gotta be scrubber.
Instead, the crew members were found seated or positioned where they had been performing their duties.
They passed out.
It looked almost as if time inside the submarine had simply stopped. Investigators began carefully studying the submarine systems to determine what could have caused such a sudden and complete loss of life. Eventually, the most widely accepted explanation pointed toward a critical malfunction involving the submarine's snorkel system. Diesel-electric submarines rely on a special ventilation pipe called a snorkel when operating near the surface. The snorkel allows the engines to draw in fresh air while expelling exhaust gases. During normal operation, this system supplies oxygen to both the engines and the crew inside the vessel. But if the ventilation system fails, the consequences can become extremely dangerous very quickly. Investigators believe that during a training exercise, the submarine's diesel engine continued running while the snorkel system malfunctioned. Instead of bringing fresh air into the vessel, the system failed to provide adequate ventilation. Inside the sealed submarine, the engine continued consuming oxygen. Because submarines operate in tightly enclosed spaces, the available oxygen supply can be depleted rapidly if ventilation stops working. Within a short period of time, the air inside the vessel likely became unsafe to breathe. The most difficult aspect of the investigation was understanding how the entire crew could have been affected without warning. Experts believe the process may have happened very quickly.
So do you think it was carbon dioxide poisoning or hypoxia? Like the level of oxygen went too low and they all passed out?
I gotta believe that CO2 buildup hit them first.
Yeah, the carbon dioxide
just get dizzy.
But you know how people have died because they left their car in the garage or whatever? Like they died because of carbon dioxide.
That's what
I wonder if that's what happened to this guys.
I think so.
I don't like the fact that it's like, oh, it's a theory. Like you couldn't measure the...
I'm more wondering, does the submarine just keep going? It's moving.
How do you stop it?
And where's it? I mean, this thing's just going now. It's nobody's driving it anymore. And
also, and maybe if you know this answer, comment below. There's gonna be a lot of comments on this one because I keep asking people to comment below.
Well, but no one's here.
What do you guess? And this is a question, and it's a kind of a morbid question. So if kids are watching this, maybe
could get some audience back.
Maybe don't let them answer this question. But let's say you find a submarine, all 71 people are dead. You take their bodies, bury them, etc. Do you just put new crew in and get after it, or do you implode this thing and sink it to the bottom of the ocean?
No, I don't think they would. These things are like fortunes of money. I'm sure they fix it.
You think so? Like, just get 71 new guys. Go back in there. Yeah, we got to keep it spying on whoever.
I mean, it's got to feel a little weird to sleep in that guy's bunk, but probably that happens, yes. I mean, if it's not on the bottom or damaged, I guess.
Hopefully they added a sensor or two.
As oxygen levels dropped and carbon dioxide levels rose, the crew members may have gradually lost consciousness before fully realizing the seriousness of the situation.
Yep.
In confined environments, this type of atmospheric change can sometimes occur silently.
You can't just open a window. That's true. The carbon dioxide is going up. People are dropping like flies. What do you do?
The submarine may already have been unable to recover. Eventually, the vessel drifted toward the surface, where it was discovered by the fishermen days later. The loss of 71 crew members made it one of the most devastating submarine incidents in modern naval history.
anything
The
like
event
this.
also served as a
Look at that
powerful
smoke.
reminder of how complex and delicate submarine systems can be.
Dude, change the oil
A
on that
single
thing.
malfunction in the wrong place can quickly place an entire crew at risk, especially
Or the world. I mean, it's the wrong malfunction on
Imagine the guy with
a
a
U.S. attacked nuclear submarine is like,
the guy on the button, the nuclear button, just
that's a big problem.
that seems to be.
I mean,
I mean, I don't know how the nuclear buttons are in submarine, but if they're like that easy button from the commercial, and that guy hits it with the forehead as he passes out,
I think both the captain and the button guy probably had to collapse at the same time for that to happen. So there is some safety.
it could happen.
If they both
There
just
is some
fall,
safety, yeah.
there's some safety. But that could happen. Both die at the same time.
Dang.
when operating in an environment where immediate rescue is nearly impossible. Even today, the image of that silent submarine drifting alone in the Yellow Sea continues to leave a lasting impression on those who study maritime history.
Which
A
is
vessel
not you,
built
so don't.
to travel unseen beneath the waves had surfaced in the most unexpected way, carrying a mystery that would take investigators months to fully understand. Stories like these reveal just how unpredictable underwater exploration can be. From deep-sea diving missions to advanced submarine operations, the ocean remains a place where preparation, training, and technology are constantly tested. And sometimes the cameras that document these missions capture moments that remind us how powerful and
What
unforgiving the deep sea can
I
be.
have one.
Yet despite the risks,
I have
explorers
one
continue
of
to
those.
push further
It's funny they
into
say
the
that. I
ocean's
have-
depths, driven by
I have one of those
curiosity
underwater
and the
cam
desire
systems.
to understand
Dive
the
vault,
last great
orca
frontier
torch,
on
and
our
this.
planet. Because every
Perfect pictures
dive,
every time.
expedition,
And you know what's frustrating about it? And it is hilarious. These guys that bring down rigs that are, the camera rigs they're magnificent, huge,
Yeah.
technical, massive. And then there's me. I come down with my dive vault, and we come up,
Don't,
and yes,
don't say it.
I don't mean to say
Don't,
that
but
mine's
don't.
just as good though, but I'm like, I know you guys spent like $48,000 and you're trained photographers, but my photo of the turtle is better color balance than
That's-
your $48,000. I mean, that's an iPhone. It's perfect photo every time.
Okay.
So I'm like a world-class underwater photographer
Let's finish.
with an iPhone.
Let's finish watching this thing. It's almost over because I want to get to 2 points. All right. So we're gonna
and
discuss 2
every
points.
camera lowered into the deep brings us one step closer.
Yeah, these
to
guys look
understanding
good.
the
Good
mysteries
turn.
really
hidden
nice.
beneath
Good
the
group,
waves.
good group.
If you found this countdown fascinating, make sure to like the video, share it with others who love ocean mysteries, and subscribe
What
for
mystery?
more deep sea stories and documentaries.
Selfie.
How about no? Okay. So 2 things I want to tackle. First off,
For Terry.
number 1 is the title of this video is Submarine Cameras Captured Something No One Was Meant to See. That's the title of the video. Now, tell me which portion of this video
It's so ridiculous.
showed anything that matches the title of this video.
Even the video with the guy talking rarely matched what the guy was talking about. It's just
What is going
there's
on?
just so much of it being pumped out, and we've been ridiculed of, well, why are you guys showing this?
And then he has
It's just crazy.
the audacity at the end to be like, if you enjoy this countdown, share it with your family and friends. What?
But they probably got a ton of views from that title.
Unbelievable.
We're idiots like us. We click on it and watch it.
I don't get
Luckily, there's a lot of us
it.
out
Second
there.
thing, let's talk about insects versus fish.
Oh,
So I know this answer because it's a really good trivia question and good discussion to bring up to your family and friends or whatever when you're after you recommend this video. Of course, bring this up because it's a good debate. People are like, okay, the oceans are pretty big and there's a lot of fish. And to be fair, there's trillions of fish in the ocean. Trillions. But there is quintillions of insects.
unbelievable.
So
I
there's
was right.
way,
It's what you haven't
way,
got.
way more insects than fish.
And Woody was. Can you say the next word? Is it even possible to come out of your mouth?
Okay,
and
but-
Woody was. And Woody was. Just try it without faces or anything. And Woody was. It starts.
You
Oh,
were.
but he couldn't.
But let me
you
just say it.
can't
Can I
do
just say it?
No, because you can't say it.
I'm about to say it.
Okay. And
Woody
was
part of the reaction of the dolphin Bifor incident, which is a commercial full saturation diving disaster that we reacted to a while ago. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to leave it right here. Woody was there.
the word is right.
I
Bye,
said
everybody.
it. We'll see you on the next one.
I'm right.